What's up everybody, Jose once again here from PETROCKmedia.com. We are back with another video. Today's video though, however, is going to be a new series of videos that we're going to be posting to this channel. We're calling it PETROCK Assembled. And in these videos, I just give you my ideas, things that have been going through my head since the previous couple of days, going over gear, things like that. It's kind of like a rambling vlogging series. So hopefully you enjoy this type of content. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. Let's get a conversation going. Again, these videos may be a couple of minutes, they may be 10-15 minutes, so you let me know in the comments what you think of this brand new series. So today we're going to first off talk about some lenses that Canon is going to be discontinuing. Not so much giving you the list, you can go out there. I'll leave a link down below to some websites that can offer you that type of information. Canon rumors, things like that will offer that to you. But what I wanted to talk about is just where do I think Canon is going here in the next couple of years, based off of some information that you can find out there on the internet, and just kind of reading between the lines and seeing between the lines as far as what Canon is thinking when they're looking at their brand new cameras. Now, what I think by them discontinuing quite a few of their EF mount lenses, me personally, I think that means they are going to start shifting completely to their RF mirrorless bodies. They're smaller, they're much more lightweight. The images coming off these sensors are incredible. Because the lens is so close to the sensor, it can provide a much crispier image. Now, Canon has its bad reputation, obviously, by crippling a lot of their cameras. Their Canon crippling hammer is always out and in full force when they release a brand new camera. I mean, looking at the Canon RC, R5C, whatever you want to call it, whatever they're going to call it, is pretty much, in my opinion, kind of like a slap in the face that they are pretty much going to re-release the Canon R5, but with promises of no overheating. What basically the Canon R5 should have been, but better codecs, non-overheating issues, things like that. Take it how you want. You know, I just recently, we just recently bought the Canon R5. I bought it more for photography. If I'm going to be utilizing it for video, I'm definitely going to be utilizing an external recorder. We have the Ninja 5 here, so that's basically what I'll be utilizing it for. Not going to use it for super professional work currently, but if it does come down that we will have to video anything, I'm most likely going to utilize the external recorder, so that way I don't have to worry about overheating. But having said that, I think, in my opinion, that's where Canon is going. They're going to shift a lot of their manufacturing and a lot of their focus to their mirrorless systems, the R5, R6. I think the Canon EOS R is still a viable option, especially if you're going to be utilizing it for photos. That cropped 4K that they offer is a bummer. It does help though for weddings if you're going to be utilizing kind of longer lenses and shooting far away, because with weddings, when the vows are going on and things like that, you really sometimes can't get super close. So sometimes that crop factor can help. But with the R5 and then the introduction of the R5C or RC, whatever they're calling it, I think Canon is slowly going that route. Hopefully, in my opinion, hopefully they don't cripple any more of their cameras severely. They're still going to leave stuff out. Like, it was ridiculous in my opinion that the R5 did not have 120 frames per second in 1080. That was just a ridiculous thing, and it took a firmware update and a lot of backlash for them to finally provide that to us. So I think those are some of the signs that you see, especially with some of these lenses being discounted. And I could be completely wrong and completely overlooking something, but again, those are just my opinions and my opinions alone. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, what you think is going to happen with Canon as a company and where you think they're shifting their business. Or I could be completely full of it, and that's totally fine. You can let me know down in the comments. Now, if you're new here to the channel, you may not know this, but we utilize a ton of Fuji gear on this channel, whether it be camera bodies or film. For some film cameras, we like a lot of Fuji on this channel. And a couple of questions that have been coming up in previous videos is, what is my #1 Fujifilm lens that I currently have, and what is the lens that I would want to have for the Fujifilms, the Fuji bodies? Currently, I think one of the best lenses that lives on my X Pro 3 is the is the Fujifilm 35mm right there. This lens practically lives on my X Pro 3. I absolutely love the color rendition. I love the focal frame. I love the focal point of that 35mm, which equates to roughly 50, which is pretty close to what the eye can see, the human eye can see. So I think that's why I really enjoy it. The small compactness of it, I think, is really, really awesome on there. If it's perfect with the X Pro 3, in my opinion, kind of complements that range style finder style of camera. And what lens would I like to shoot with? And that would be the exact same, but the 1.4. I've heard from a lot of people that there's just some sort of magic built into that lens, and it's something that I would very much be willing and interested in shooting with on the X Pro 3. So current favorite lens that practically lives on my X Pro 3 is the 35mm, and the lens that I would like to shoot with is that 35mm 1.4. It's not weather resistant, I don't believe. It does look a little bit chunkier, a little bit heavier, but again, I would still like to shoot with that lens because I've just heard such amazing things about it. And lastly, just kind of going over some things that we are looking at purchasing for the channel. We have the 50mm Canon RF mount lens coming in here in a few days. I'm going to be putting that through the test, taking some sample images, utilizing it for video, just overall putting it through some tests to see what my results are and see my recommendation of if that lens should find some space in your camera bag for your Canon RF mount cameras. I think just from what I've been seeing, it's a no-brainer. I think it's definitely going to be a winner, but again, I want to utilize it in my own paces, utilizing it for travel. You know, my wife and I, my family and I like to go through the Texas Hill Country. We're based out of Texas, and just I want to see if that lens is going to be one of those that can potentially live on my Canon R5, because typically right now what's living on there is the 35mm Canon RF mount lens that we've done some testing on also, and I'll leave it in one of the corners. I can't remember where it goes, but I'll leave that video there as well so you could take a look at it. So that is something else that we're getting into the studio. And then another lens that I'm looking at, or actually another lens company that I'm looking at, is either TT Artisans or 7 Artisans for the Fujifilms. Those two lens systems always confuse me because of their names are so close, but looking at some of their lenses, they do very shallow depth of field lenses. They have really shallow f-stops from 0.95 to 1.0, 1.2. So I really want to pair that with my Fuji X Pro 3, maybe even the X-T4, throw that on there, see what kind of results we can get from that. They're manual focus lenses, which I absolutely love to utilize, especially with the type of shooting that I do, portraits, things like that, not fast moving objects. Manual focus lenses don't bother me. But that wraps up this episode, everybody, of PETROCK Assembled. I just wanted to give my overall thoughts that I've been thinking about here the past couple days, give my opinion on what I believe Canon is up to, give some thoughts on what I believe is the perfect lens combination with the X Pro 3. Shout out to all 2,700 of you who have decided to click that subscribe button and be a part of the PETROCK Media family. I greatly appreciate you all. I cannot believe we're at 2,700 subscribers. The goal now is 3,000 by the end of the year, by the end of 2021. Hopefully we can get there. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you're new here. If you already subscribe, again, thank you. Hit that share button, hit that thumbs up button, really helps out the channel. And again, thank each and every one of you for stopping on by. I'll catch each and every one of you in the next video. Peace.